Welcome back to another episode of Say Something with Cheré, a storytelling platform and podcast with impactful conversations as well. And today I get to talk to you all on an intimate level with my fine husband.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me today, honey.
My pleasure.
This is our first podcast, just you and I.
It is.
It's our first
and it's
episode.
about to be the bomb.
The busy boy.
Let me watch how I say that.
Put the mic up to your mouth.
No, it's all right. We're going to hold the mic right where it is. Listen, this lady here.
How you feeling?
Mostly with my hands.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good today. It's a good day.
I like your hands, don't worry about it. It's okay. So look, honey, I wanted you to come on the show today. Well, I want to spend more time with you and have some intimate moments because of our TikTok following and our fan base. Yeah. They're always saying like, oh, you guys need to do it on YouTube. You need to do a YouTube. So, and then my friends, everybody wants to hear from Patrick what Patrick has to say.
I got a lot to say.
You do have a lot to say, but you're so quiet most of the time when we're out. So I wanted to talk about our dating life, our lifestyle as dating, right? So I know that if we look at our previous marriage, mine's particularly, we dated, but it wasn't like a priority, right? And I remember there was so much grief and strife in the marriage. There was a lack of communication, not even knowing how to communicate. And so coming out of it. You
talking about my marriage or you talking about yours?
I'm just yours. Listen,
right, it sounds the same to me. Like,
listen, it was horrible. And I think a lot of times people don't even know how to pinpoint where the grief and strife is coming from.
I agree.
So coming out of that marriage, it was so much, it turned into hatred. And we didn't talk about feelings. We didn't talk. It was always about things that needed to happen in the household, with finances and carrying order throughout the house. But we didn't talk about how I felt. Like, communicate with me. Tell you how I feel. Tell me how you feel. Where can I do better? Where can you do better? You know.
Yeah, I never had that conversation.
You didn't have it either?
Never.
So coming out, I knew one of the things that, like, when you got to Georgia, when we first started, like, officially, without sneaking around, that's a whole nother episode. That's
a whole nother story. I mean,
we were official.
It was official, and everybody can know it.
Everybody can know.
Yeah, it was. And it's a priority. It's a priority.
To never stop dating me, right?
And I made it a priority.
Right.
Yeah. So, to never stop. I mean, even inside of us getting married, I made it a priority. I told you, if you read my letter, I said,
I read the letter when they brought it to my dressing room. It's going
to be on a forever date. I'm going to date you the rest of my life. And I feel like other people, this is something that should happen. You know, you shouldn't just think we're married, that's it. And, you know, because it could begin to seem like roommates.
Yes.
And that's never good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, my marriage, to go back to that, previous marriage, it was exactly what you said. There was no communication. Yeah, we'd go somewhere and get something to eat, but that's it. And it was not enough of what I needed, what you needed. That wasn't discussed. So I'm glad inside of what I have now, we have those moments, those times where we can sit back and say, hey, listen, I'm not getting enough of this. Or it's a little too much of that, or whatever it may be. And then we date. And
we date a lot. Well, we're empty nesters too. And I know that children can get in the way. Of course, I was a single mom, and then I brought the blended family, and then you were in a blended family as well. Yes. So children can get in the way. But even inside of that, looking back, there were still ways to make each other a priority.
Yes, there was definitely ways. I do agree that children can get in the way, but in some cases, when they're old enough, they're not in the way. It just didn't happen.
It's just real. It's just the priority, the planning, making it happen.
It wasn't
and
there.
So one of the things that I think that we do really good too, with that outside of dating, the other thing that we brought into the marriage was our check-ins.
Yes.
The quarterly check-ins. And it's really about accountability.
Yes.
We hold each other accountable to how we're going to build this empire. So whether we have 9 to 5s or whatever, we still have our own 24/7s after that.
Exactly.
And so we make a commitment to what you're going to do, I'm going to do, how we're going to come collectively together. So we do our check-ins about not just the accountability part, but also to check and see how happy you are in the marriage, how happy I am, what I can do better, what you can do better. And the third thing is to acknowledge the growth that we both have had and acknowledge the great things that we do have in our marriage.
Correct.
Right? So how do you feel about those check-ins? Because I know it was new to you. It was something that I just sprung.
In the beginning, I'm like, what is this? I don't know. I don't really want to do it. Like I can tell you how I feel. But going into the multitude of things that we went into, it was a bit much.
Honey, you didn't like the accountability
at all.
It was like
at all.
You said you were going to do X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely. And
the past 3 months.
That was the plan, but it didn't happen. And then when it's put back to you, like, well, this still isn't done, or where are you with this? And I have to sit there and say, dang, I didn't finish that.
We had some arguments those first couple.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the check-ins in the beginning were not.
You didn't let go
at all. I'm like, why did we check in like that? That don't make sense. Just
you were not looking forward to the
at all. Never. Not none of the beginning ones were for me because I didn't have things in order, and I'm like, and then I try to look and see what can I point at you. What didn't you get done?
Right.
But what you didn't get done didn't outweigh what you got done. So it's like, oh my goodness, she did all that, and I'm over here. I got 3 things to do, and it wasn't done. So the check-ins were not fun.
But now,
they're needed.
Yeah,
they're appreciated. I don't mind the part about being held accountable now.
Yeah,
it lets me know like you need to get them feet moving.
Yeah,
you thought of a great idea, but it's still on the paper. So the check-ins now are much, much better.
Definitely. And it is like a motivation. Really, it's accountability, but it motivates you to show up at the next check-in like, oh, I did this.
I got it.
Right?
I've been writing down, taking notes. So when the check-ins come, I'm going to speak on everything I need to speak on, and you'll see the progress in what I'm doing. So I'm like, check-ins out. When is the next check-in?
Yes, ready. Like, it inspires you, opens up creativity. It's amazing.
It does.
Something else that we do, dating. Let's talk about dating, because all of this goes into the dating, but you are the king of date nights.
Yes, I am.
So you have taken that title and run with it, because you really have owned this whole dating piece within our marriage. And so I wanted you particularly to tell us your top 8 benefits to dating while married.
My top 8. I would have to, if I take my top 8, I would have to start with what we started with in the conversation, it being a priority.
Yeah.
It has to be in your relationship, or any relationship, not just being married, just a relationship period, because it helps the relationship grow. But it has to be a priority, not just every once in a while we'll do something, or I don't feel like doing it, or I don't got the money to do it. Like, it's still a priority, because you're going to do those things that you want to do, regardless of whatever it is. If it costs you $1,000 and you wanted it, you're going to go out and get it. So I think the same way inside a relationship, you should put that same energy into it, not just say, I want to buy this certain thing and then you go spend it. Dating don't always have to cost you a lot of money. You have to get creative. Come check me out and I'll help you. I'll give you a couple ideas. Yeah. But it has to be a priority. It has to be a high priority in a relationship.
And you make that point too, whenever we're out with other couples and we end up getting on this whole dating thing. Normally we're dating with other couples, double date. But it's so funny that when we talk to couples and you ask that question, how often do they date? And then we hear that,
I work, he works, or he's gone, or, it's just so many different things. It's like, no. She works. She does a lot of different things. I work. I do a lot of different things. But I am going to always put dating my wife as a high priority, So,
and one of the ways that we keep that going is the calendar. So we live by our calendar, okay?
Use that calendar. I looked at the calendar to see what the date was. That's what I used to do. And that calendar now, it lets me know when and not always where, because, sometimes it's like, I ain't gonna let you know where I'm going.
It's always a surprise.
Yeah. But that calendar, you put it on your calendar this way in those busy hustle bustle times.
Yes.
It is going to let you know, like, hey, this is scheduled. I know not to put this person, this activity in that spot. It's priority. You prioritizing your life to fit with your spouse.
And
your
currently
wife.
we do, well, every month we date. Mm-hmm. We rotate. It's your date night, then it's my date night every month, and it's planned, right? It's you have to actually plan it.
It's not one of those things that is just, it happens now. No thought was put into it. No, I mean, like, this month is my month. Mm-hmm. So I'm already ahead of the game right now.
Yeah.
You know,
this is your month in June.
Yes. So I'm ready. I just have to put it on the calendar and give it to her by it being the beginning of, you know, this month.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It should be on the calendar, the top of the month.
Yes.
So that I know you putting in the time and not just throwing it, because I've been the one that me,
listen to
her,
this, y'all.
she.
Listen.
I've
look at them fingers pointing.
Had some times where it just didn't. It was on the calendar, but it wasn't on the calendar. In my mind, I knew it was my month to plan date night, but
and we're ticking down. We're on the 27th.
So it's the end of the month. And I'm like, oh, I did not plan date night, so I threw something.
And I'm sitting back like, you know,
he didn't say anything either.
No, because it needs to be a priority to each of you. You know, it can't just be for me. I'm at the first of the month. Matter of fact, the 30th. I'm thinking, okay, we need to make sure I got this together. So as we went through, I'm like, okay, well, she got one more day,
and it was on the last day of the month, and I threw something together, but while we were getting dressed, I felt so bad. I felt really, really bad that I did not take out the time and plan what he was deserving of, which was a date. And so I asked, can I just do the following month as well? Because I felt in that moment that he didn't deserve this. Like, I didn't take out the time and make my husband a priority. I didn't take out the time to do something for him, even if it were just that we were going for a walk in the park and we were going to stop and get some Andy's ice cream or something.
Yes.
Whatever it was, I should have planned it instead of throwing it together. So when you say priority, it's bigger than just putting the date on the calendar.
Correct.
It is really taking the time to plan, what am I going to do for my spouse? Because life be lifing.
Yes, it does. Definitely.
And you can easily just get caught up in the woes of life, and you forget to just show your spouse, like, I really do love you and I appreciate you, even when you get on my nerves, you know. But whatever.
It's another episode.
So another episode. Yes. The priority part is it's just key, and it's bigger than just saying we're going on a date.
Yeah, absolutely, much bigger. To keep moving, I would say the second thing that I believe would be, you know, to have fun. It gives you time to have fun together. Again, you're working and you don't really get to do much. For some people, not us. You know, I just feel like we have fun all the time. Yes. We can be home and we're going to do something and we're going to laugh about it. We're going to dance about it. Check out our TikTok.
Yeah, we're going to dance.
We're going to do that. So, you know, it's have to be fun.
Yeah, that is true. We do have a lot of fun.
Yes, you have to. Marriage has to be fun. Relationship has to be fun. It can't be all serious, straight faced all day long. Yeah. Get this done. It's in this order. No, it has to be fun. Sometimes fun just happens without expected. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So
that is true for you, because I remember when we first started TikTok and we began to grow on TikTok. It was so much fun because we started in the pandemic and we just jumped on there just to just have fun, and we were home, right?
Show you what we're doing at home. We do this at home. I walk in and she's in the kitchen, music's playing, we dance. So it was fun.
And then we begin to grow, and the mind of a creator, I'm like, we need to take this up a notch. Okay, so we're going to learn this. We got to do this skit. And Patrick was like...
The fun was leaving because it became a job. It became more structured. Yes. You know, before it was just randomly having fun. We liked what we saw. We did it and we enjoyed it. And then it became a job. It was like, listen, this is what we need to do. No. Those steps are not right. And I'm like... You know, that to me, that was the best I had right there.
You swear I became a drill sergeant. Listen, that was not the case.
If we would have done the behind the scenes and let you see them, you would have been like, yo, hey, man, how did you get through that? You know, listen, hey, right now, these knees, you know. And she like, well, you can't do it. And you know, that's a challenge now. I'm like, yeah, I can do it.
No, you just weren't practicing. You wasn't spending the time to practice the routine. You want to just jump in.
All my life, practice has been the same.
The comments, it's in the comments, y'all. Go look in the comments. Yeah. The people like...
all my life, the practice has been the same. They say stretch. I'd be like, all right. I ain't stretching. So when she say, you need to practice, I say, I got it.
And he don't be having it.
And I'm like, hold on, 1, 2, 1. And she like... but you didn't step right again, and it's like it became work. And the fun was slowly leaving. Yes. And it was like, okay, I don't want to keep doing this.
He wasn't feeling it.
No.
So I had to actually, because he still enjoyed TikTok, I had to then in turn look at the content that we were selecting and make it fun for him.
Yes.
And so that we can actually get through batch creating, because we were doing like 10, 15 videos.
That's what I'm saying, y'all. If y'all see the behind the scenes, and it's like we have 10 videos to do.
Yeah.
That 10 turns to 15 because, and there was no skip this one. No, we're going to get this one. So there go, it's a job now. It's like, you can't skip. Can we just go to the next one? It's a lot easier. No. So I sat back and was like, I'm tired of this.
But the reward after all of that,
the reward was
the reward is always great.
It is. It is.
So having fun, that it does give you an opportunity to have fun with each other. Yes. That's really good, honey.
What we're doing right now, you get to talk and laugh.
Yes.
I love to hear her voice. I love when she smiles. So
is that right?
That's important to me. So when we go out, absolutely. When we go out, I want to hear her talk about whatever it is she got going on next, or she wants me to talk, but I'd be really wanting to just sit there and just listen to her. Like, I can just sit here and look at you and listen. Like, you know what? You take over the rest of the show. I'm just going to sit here. And I'm fine with that. I believe that is very important in any relationship, to communicate, talk, laugh. Like, it don't have to be serious every time, You don't want the people around you to be like, oh my God, you know what? They are straight face serious. Like, is that his mom? Is that her dad? So I want you have to talk, laugh, and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, that goes along with the having fun part. But
that was two.
No, that's three. That's third.
Oh, that was have fun. Three. Okay, have fun, communicate.
3 is to laugh and talk. Laugh and talk. You can talk about business, but don't make the whole date about business.
Okay, that makes sense. That's true.
That's important. I believe that's very important.
That is very important.
I got my list right here, y'all. So I ain't want to miss nothing. It makes each other feel really important to know that she took the time out and planned this date, and it wasn't just thrown together. And I know she took time. Like, she didn't just say, oh, we're going to go over here today. No, she said, let me look and see what the reviews on this place is like. Let me see what day is really something going on. And you get there and it's like, wow, I've never done this before. To give an example, she took me to my first escape room. I had the most fun. I felt like a kid, like, you know what? But for me, I become technical. I'm going to get out. I am very competitive. I'm going to help me to get out. And I took a little bit of the fun away from it a couple times because it didn't just happen once.
Because you just take over everybody else's mission.
I'm a gamer. I used to be. And when you play that game, that's me. I'm that character. So to put me in that in real life, we got to get out. This is a real life situation. If we don't stop this rocket
we're going to blow up.
We go blow up.
But it's like, you have your session, I have my mission. We got to come together. But no, you finish yours and want to come take over everybody else's mission. It's
the
like,
mission is mine.
You forget that we're there to have fun. No, you're there to win.
I was having fun. Fun is get out. That's what I felt like. But I mean, I learned, we went to a couple other ones, and I had to just let the people do it. We don't get out. We got plenty of time watching the clock, and we've got out of every one that we've been in. So
we have. No, you're great in every room that we go in. You are perfect.
I had to learn to let people do what they're great at. Some people are good with the puzzle. Some people are good at figuring out different things. And I feel like, okay, I'm good at all that, but you know what? Let them do it, and we gonna get out.
Yeah.
The last 2 we did, I feel like I did really good.
You did good.
I really good. I didn't go and just reach over nobody's shoulder and here, just give me this and I'll turn it. I watched and waited. I watched and waited.
Crystal, if you're watching, we love you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to get out.
So yeah, having fun. That is very important. It's a good tip.
It makes each other feel important. Her planning for me and me planning for her.
Because I do like to see, when I have my calendar and I know it just says be ready at this time, like the excitement, like, oh my God, what did he plan? What does he got going on today? Where are we going? So that gives me all the like goosebumps.
See, that's what I want. I want this shoulder shaking and the goosebumps. Yes, I want that. I want her to touch me and be like, how you find this place?
Yes.
And me, I try to find places that she hasn't been.
Yes.
Or we're going to do an activity that she hasn't done before. That way it's like, okay, it's my first time, your first time. Let's really go in here and enjoy this.
And it's not always dinner, sit down.
No.
Literally, it's fun.
No, we're going to go out. We're going to do something. Or even sit at home and do something that we, play games. She built me a fort. Just anything, you just have to be creative with it, of course. I also.
Okay, so that was 4. Where are we?
We're at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I got 4 more for you. I'm gonna give them.
No,
to
I
you.
just wanted to hear. I just wanted to lose count where we were at. That was 4 tips. Okay.
It builds memories. Same way I remember the fort. That was when I first got here around that time, sometime in there. But I'll never forget it. But you're able to build memories with the dates. You get to be creative, and later on when you get older, she'll hit you with, you remember when you took me horseback riding?
Yes.
I say last night. I mean, yeah, I got you. That went over your head.
No, it didn't.
I'm glad you didn't
not
respond.
go over my head.
I'm glad you didn't respond to it. But you get to build memories with each other.
Yes. Yes.
And
I
believe that's
love
very
that
important.
you love the fort. And that was a spontaneous date night because he had a hard day at work, and I knew that he had a hard day. So when he came home, it was just, I had him stay outside the door and go in and take a shower. I was
put a
using
blindfold on. Go to the shower.
Blindfold.
Yeah,
and I had him thinking I was talking to people out in the front room because they were waiting on us, and I was talking to myself, y'all, just to throw him off.
I'm in there. Look, who was out there? And then she said, "Well, come out." I had the blindfold on when I came out, and I'm like, "Who isn't? I know you ain't got nobody here." Also, she told me to my clothes was out there with her.
Yes.
Just put your underwear on and come out. Like, if you want me to come out here in my underwear and there's somebody in the house, all right. I know ain't nobody. It can't be nobody in the house now. She ain't about to do that. But I walked out, and then when we took it off, the fort was there, and it was when I went inside, it was just complete peace.
Yeah.
Like everything that happened that day, it was no longer in existence. There was nobody else on this planet. It was just me and my wife.
And we had a laptop and a movie.
Some little snacks.
I had a little, it was like a charcuterie board, but just full of snacks, candy, popcorn, little food. And it was perfect.
Beautiful. I mean, perfect is the best way to put it. And we just watched the movie, and I was there like, there's nobody else but me and you.
It did feel like a kid again when you crawled under there. It was like,
like it took you way back, and it was peaceful. And that at that time, like me having a hard day, she knew that's what I needed, and it was perfect. Thank you again for that. Yes, let me catch that. In case gotta let that get away. I would also have to say, it boosts your social life because you meet people when you're out.
It's true.
They see you having fun. You get other people around you laughing.
Yes.
And, next thing you know, you're having a conversation. So what do you do? Mm-hmm. And of course, my wife can explain that to them better than me. And she lets them know. And they like, oh, my goodness. And now you're building those other relationships.
Yeah.
So your social life changes. If I get your information, you get mine. And then we meet somewhere. We may go out with them as well, So it does that for dating.
Absolutely.
And we need that. You definitely need to, a lot of people say keep your circle tight. But I mean, if your circle is tight and you're not moving in that circle, maybe you need to make it a little bigger.
Oh, that's good.
And get you moving, get you moving in another direction. So keep your circle tight, but don't be so less willing to open that circle up to let others in. You know who to let in and who not to let in.
Yeah.
They'll show themselves, and you always can say, hey, you're not the right person, back out my circle. And then I would have to also go with, let me take it off my list. It reminds yourself of the time when you first fell in love, or when you felt that first feeling you had for your friend. Maybe it was a friend first, and then it became something else. So that also gives you that time too. Like you sit there, and I look across at my wife, and I'd be thinking about, okay, we've been married this long, but we could have been married this long. So I just think about those times, like, or when I first met her or saw her, and she was real skinny and had big eyes.
Still skinny.
Yeah, I said real skinny. You're skinny now. Okay. I just said real skinny.
I'll get beat up on the show.
No, we ain't. I know you skinny. I know them 10 pounds dropping and another 2 pounds.
Come on, and pipe me up.
Let me stop right there because they don't know what how many you dropped after the 2. That was after the 10.
See,
so
that's why I like you.
Still skinny. For everybody to know, still skinny. These just big clothes like mine.
That's it.
So again, I would have to say that right there reminds you of when you know, you fell in love, or when you felt that feeling that was different than any other feeling you have for anybody else. Dating does that. Dating would take you back like, this is the right one. Like all them other games and other people I was with, I knew better. So it gives you that. And then lastly, to make up my 8th one would be, it increases intimacy. So,
David,
talk to him. Go ahead, you can give it to him. It increases the intimacy inside of the relationship, you know, especially if it's a really good date.
If it's a really, really good date.
And you have a couple
ride the white
Tito's and tonic.
chocolate pony.
You get your Tito's and tonic in you or something. 2 of them. And it's going down.
Tito's and tonic.
Tito's and tonic. That's what you'll do. So, you know, it increases that as well. You know, it could be intimacy, it could be the conversations that you're having, the touch that you're giving when you're there. It's a bunch of different ways to create that intimacy.
But that's a learned behavior. That's probably a tip that needs to come with another tip, because if a couple is not already dating, when they do go on a date, the conversation piece may be hard. And the intimacy piece may be hard, like the touching, and
it can be as simple as holding hands. Because you can fall
into something normal, and then it's like when you get out, you don't know what to do, because I don't play with my spouse on a regular. I don't have these conversations, so.
But you know, dating.
But just hold hands while you're walking.
Exactly, holding hands. If it's something that if it's something you don't normally do at home, or even if you do, you know your spouse, and if you're someone that you're just meeting, then of course I wouldn't expect for you to go and grab her by the butt, right. And you just meeting and y'all just getting it started. But you know, the simple as grabbing her hand and holding her, just letting them know that, you know, I got you, I'm here, and have a good time with it, you know.
So honey, let's talk about when it's a struggle, right? Like, so we have had times where date night falls on what my husband like to call a smoky city in our household.
Smoke in the city.
Where I'm just, listen, I'm not feeling him. He probably not feeling me. And so when it's time to go on a date and you just not feeling it, but you know it has to happen because this is marriage, it's probably going to help the smoke. But
it does. That goes with the
do you know, you're really good about it. How do you, like,
how do I
ask the question?
Give it to me.
How do you still do the touch? Like, how do you know?
Because I love
to
you
touch
no
me when
what.
I know when you know I don't feel like being bothered.
Because I still love you, and I know what my hands do
to me.
Yes. So even though you don't want to be touched, or right now ain't the time, but you know, we're gonna go through the motion. We're not going through the motion. This is gonna still be like as if we wasn't. For me, that's how I think. Okay, you know what? Whatever it is, or whatever this smoke is that I'm seeing right now, I ain't about to pay it no attention. That's no longer in existence for me. I completely say whatever it is I done, or whatever it is that I feel like you done, I forgot about it. Now we can pick it back up, but right now it isn't about that. It's about, I want you to know I still love you even when you mad. I want you to know I still love you and you love me, and I'm gonna show you regardless. So here, give me a hand. You squeezing a little bit, but it's all right. You know, it doesn't matter for me. I'm going to show I love you regardless. Angry, upset, smoke, whatever it is. I'm still
Gonna be some smoke in the city.
Yes, it does.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah. Not all the time, not too often, but when it is, you know.
But I think that goes back to the dating and the playfulness that we have in the marriage. We play a lot. I probably play a little more than he do, probably too much. But the playfulness in the marriage, and I think that's something that we don't really hear about. Like when people talk about marriage, it's always communication is key. You have to communicate. But
what's that thing you say? You say you have to communicate, but you also have to
comprehend. Comprehension is really the key.
Yes.
We can talk all day long and communicate, but if you're not comprehending, I'm not comprehending you. We're not picking up what we put down.
Exactly. You got to pick up. They got to be able to pick up what the other person's putting down.
Yeah.
Because if you're not picking it up, you just got a bunch of stuff on the floor.
Just a bunch of words out there.
It's just there.
And I think then we're frustrated at each other instead of just saying like, okay, I need to figure out a way to get him to understand or her to understand what it is that I'm saying.
Exactly.
And then so things get better. But
once you understand it, it gets better.
It does. But I think the other piece that we don't talk about when we talk about relationships and marriages, we don't really talk about the importance of intimacy and dating, and not just sex, but before you get to sex, there's so much more intimacy. We don't talk about having the fun, the dating. Dating is so important in a relationship, let alone a marriage. Like it takes away the stresses, all the things that you said. Does. It takes away the stresses of life and everything that's going on. It actually puts you in that mindset to say, like you said, remembering why you're with this person, Absolutely. Right? If they want to do that, and it has to be balanced, because I'm the workaholic.
Yes,
and you helped me to pull me away from that.
Y'all don't know. It's all day, like it's all day, all night. Yeah. There is her brain just constantly, and she's a person that doesn't sit on it. She goes to it, and she's going to know about it before she even present it. Yeah. So that right there takes time, and I had to learn. Hey, I need to get her out of there. So figure out a way that is not going to cause smoke by stopping her what she's doing, because she might be in a moment where she really flowing, and here I come playing, and it's like, okay, what's up? You just need
showing me a video,
right? That's my way of like, you need to take a minute, because you've been over there, and it's been at least 3 hours, and I don't think you looked at me. Like you've been it's like if you're cramming for a test and you're in the books and you're not, listen, I know I got to get this done because the exam is tomorrow. So you're cramming. It's like she works like she's cramming, and she gets it, she gets it done, but it's like, okay, we need to take a break. Mm-hmm. So, hey, look, come here. Could you come here for a second and look at this? And then she looked at me like, look at this.
What?
But I got her out of that moment of cram right there. Even if it caused me to get the laser eyes, I got her out of there for a second. And then when I get her out of there for a second, she'll see like, what, I've been sitting here, let me give me something to eat. I have to do those kind of things to pull her away, because she's the workaholic.
Yes, I am.
At its finest.
I am.
At its finest.
So, honey, how do you feel about when we are double dating? Because we do couple double dates.
Enjoy them.
Sometimes.
I enjoy them.
Let's talk about the boring couples, okay? Because listen, we get boring couples. I'm just gonna be honest.
We ain't call no names, y'all, but y'all know.
We have been out, and we always get couples and say, "Oh, we want to come out, we want to go double date," and we love double dating. Yes. In fact, we are actually starting a couples of Alpharetta. So we're going to be doing date nights, and all that information will be coming out soon, but just go and follow us. We'll have the link. We'll have it on the lower third here, so you see it somewhere. But we have went out with several. We have our favorite couple, of course. Yes. Crystal and Adrian. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, absolutely.
We love going out with them, but we have couples that we go out. Always fun. We have a good time with all the couples. No shade to anybody else. But we have had some couples that were just boring.
Listen, I mean, it was a drag, so to say. It was like, oh my goodness, it's just me and you here. We could have just did this solo.
Literally, Patrick and I be texting each other back and forth. Like,
now you have everybody looking at me. When you grab your phone, they're gonna be like, is they talking about us? But when you're having fun, and when you're not. We have people that has fallen asleep on us, because
these are the couples also, honey, that don't date. They don't make time to date. So when they come out, they were looking at us like, so what we do? We here. And it's like, hold her hand. I don't know, rub her knee. Like,
absolutely. Just dance with her. Get up and dance. Anything. We just went somewhere. Where were we at? We're just on the rooftop. Where were we just at on the rooftop?
Yesterday?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Avalon.
Okay. And they had some music playing, and it was just some music, y'all. I don't know who it was, what it was, but we were dancing. We were on the rooftop country dancing, music, and the people came up and they were looking like they dancing to this. Yeah, what? Yeah, absolutely, we're dancing to any music. It doesn't matter what it is. If you catch that beat, we gonna move to it. So we're up there, and then our host came up, and she was smiling and to bring us our food, and she was just smiling like, look, they really enjoying themselves. And then we got another group of people came up, so it was like 3 other groups of people came up, but it's like they were mainly focusing on us because we're laughing and we're tasting foods that we don't really like.
I love. No. He does that, but
so yeah,
we're gonna have a good time.
We definitely gonna have a good time. No matter who we're with, we're gonna have a good time. But
and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna do a TikTok.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna do a TikTok with us. If you go check it out, we have couples on there that we went out with and we done TikToks with, and we're gonna have a good time. So stay tuned. Keep looking for the information somewhere on the screen, like
somewhere
she
here
said,
or in the caption.
Yes.
But yeah, honey, it was so good to have you on the show
Thank
and
you.
talk about
Anytime.
date night.
Anytime.
I enjoy date nights. We had one last night just because.
And we might have one tonight.
And I think so. We should just do one tonight. The weather
Absolutely.
is nice. We're twinsing. We look like Easter a little bit.
Yeah, But it's always bunny of an evening when we're together.
Oh, look at you. You're so corny.
Yeah, that's sometimes. But look at that corny. Look what Corny does. Look what Corny does.
You got anything you want to say to the fellas?
Date. That's what you have to do. It works.
Well, honey, thank you so much for stopping by this set and spending some time with me.
Yes. Anytime.
On Monday. And you guys stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Say Something with Cheré on Instagram, right here on YouTube, Patrick and Cheré on TikTok, and Alpharetta Couples on Instagram. It'll all be strolling right here and in the caption. And until next time, you have said something. Say Something with Cheré, Marriage Edition on Monday with the Munn.
Yes.